Hey everybody, it's Doug K. We're back out on the trail. Thanks for joining me. I was going to do a hike to a specific stealth location today, but it wound up being about 86 degrees. And I'll tell you what, I'm up here, it's beautiful, I'm familiar with this area, and I know there's some great sites that have swimming holes. So I might look for one of those instead. On the menu today, a subscriber had suggested doing an egg drop soup. So egg drop soup it is. I have a raw egg in here somewhere. I've got my ramen for my base. And I did go ahead and bring the frozen Gulf shrimp with me. They worked out so great on the last trip that I decided to do that again this time. So what do you say we get out of the parking lot and onto the trail? Not the stealth site that I was planning on going to, but I knew I'd find something cool along this creek, and there are some great pools in there, and I'm going to be in one of them in a couple of minutes. Hey guys, so settling in here at my little spot. Fire rings in, you know, do yourself a favor, do the forest a favor, clear the dry leaves. I'll do a little bit more than that. And beautiful creek right behind me. Decent enough looking swimming hole right there and right there that I think I can get myself submerged today, so that'll be comfortable. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the tent set up over there. I've been using this for a year now. I'm gonna get this set up and I'm gonna give you a little bit of review after being out in the trail with this thing for a year. First of all, it is a semi-freestanding tent. What that means is, I said this in my first one, the toe box, the foot box does need to be staked out. It is zero concern for me. I've been using this thing for a year. I've had it set up on the sand. I've had it set up on rock. In the rare instances where this distance from here to here was not enough, I've taken some elastic paracord, actually attached that here, and that allowed me to pull as far as I needed or whatever angle I needed to get a stake in. It's only happened to me twice that I can remember, but it's not that big of a deal. It does help save you some weight, and you know, that's one of the reasons I spent the money on this guy. This is the Tiger Wall UL3. It is definitely a 2-person, not a 3-person tent. You guys already know that, but I take it solo all the time. The room is great. I've got everything in there. My pack's in there, and when Melissa joins me again, there's more than enough room for 2 people in there. I wouldn't put 3 people in this tent. Couple of negatives. Rain guard, fantastic idea, and it does work. It does what it's supposed to. It protects the zipper. It allows you actually to keep this vent open so that you've got some additional venting in there. What does happen when these get wet, they have a tendency to get caught in the small zipper right there. I've never torn it. It's always come out pretty easily, but it can make getting in and out of the tent a little bit of a challenge in the rain. Another thing that I noticed, and I don't think this is necessarily a sign that there's something wrong. There's really one tension bar with this. There's a crossbar there that's attached, but there's really one bar to this tent. And some of these have started to retain the shape of the bend. And I think that's just because I've always got this thing staked out properly. And I'm sure that that's probably just a normal side effect from being under that amount of tension. One other thing, again, it's all about staking this thing out correctly. If you don't, if there's not enough tension and you get a lot of rain in this section here, this panel and this panel here, you're going to get some puddling in here. You got to pull this thing taut, and it will roll right off of here and come down the side. I'll just give you a quick 1, 2, 3, oops, on the interior. But again, I'm solo tonight, so you can see this is like being in the Ramada here. But plenty of room, nice little mesh area up there to store things. 2 big side pockets on either side. This is a really good tent. I've been super happy with it. It's been so many different places with me. Big Agnes Tiger Wall UL3, excellent tent. Go get one now. All right, got the camp all set up. Took a dip. That was cold. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the fire started a little bit earlier than usual. I'll use a lot of different things to get fires started. One of the things I've been using lately, but this stuff's been working pretty good for me. Like the weight on it, and just keep it in a Ziploc. And like I said, each one of these is good for a weekend because you can get 3 burns easily out of one packet. That's all there is to that. So we have upped our ramen game. I think that guy's one of the Iron Chefs, I'm not sure. But this water's almost up to boil. We'll get these in, let that cook for a little bit. Then we drop the egg in, and while that's cooking, I will get the, I'm gonna get these Gulf shrimp skewered and put those on. With the old trusty Swiss Army knife from Grandpap. And I'm liking this skewered shrimp routine. Again, I left the house with those frozen solid. This is gonna be tasty. If you're doing this, you wanna get something, you know, green. If you use anything pine or anything crispy, they'll usually just torch right up when you put them in the fire. So try to get something green. Let's get these guys on. Again, we'll drop these on indirect heat. Fire's nice and hot. These noodles can come off. And that just kind of poaches in there. We'll get a little bit more flame on the fire. You can see that coming up to boil again, so that's actually gonna cook. And then we'll go ahead and put the flavoring in with that. And these guys will just take a few minutes. So I added the soup seasoning, and then you can see how that egg kind of sets up almost like it's poached. So at that point, you just kind of want to break it up a little bit because you don't want like a whole egg just laying in there, but you do want chunks. So put that in. That's still really hot. And I actually think I'm gonna leave that off and just cover that while these shrimp are finishing up. Shrimp are just about done. I'm gonna give them just a little bit more time. And they're right over that indirect heat. But the egg drop soup came out beautifully. And this is definitely a step up from the regular top ramen. I still think it was only like 50 cents, 75 cents. I found it at Aldi. But it comes with a seasoning packet and a liquid packet. The noodles are definitely higher quality. They don't get as mushy. With the one egg in there, it adds a lot of protein, gives a little bit of flavor and body. Pretty happy with the way this turned out. Delicious. And how about one of these guys here? So good. I'm going to finish this up and get cleaned up a bit. We'll get the fire back in action. Just enjoy this. Well, that was a delicious dinner. And I'm having fun trying some new stuff. So I wanted to thank a subscriber for suggesting egg drop soup. Well, I'm off trail. That's how you find a lot of these places. And it will look exactly like it did when I got here, when I leave tomorrow. It's just not that difficult to leave no trace. Just sitting here enjoying these surroundings. This is really nice to have some good legitimate summer weather for backpacking. Get to take advantage of camping by some of these nicer deep pools where you can actually get in and cool off. I like to get off trail. I like to find really cool spots that are out of the way. But it's about 8:30. Daylight's burning pretty quickly. I've got a really cool new coffee filter. Again, that a friend, subscriber told me about. A company called the Miracle Brew. And they make a really nice pour-through filter that I'm going to use tomorrow morning for the coffee. So no instance for me. I'm trying to go highbrow on the coffee. but I like finding these little secret places, and the way that you do that is, you know, when you're familiar with the spot, you go beyond what you're familiar with. So you take the trail that you haven't gone down before, you follow the stream that you haven't gone down before, and you find places like this. Look over that next hillside. You know, if there's a cluster of boulders somewhere, figure out a way back to it, see what it has to offer. Get some basic compass and map skills and start to you know, deviate from some of the known trails and see if you can find some of these hidden gems. But that's just something I was thinking about, so wanted to share that with you, and I will see you in the morning.
Good morning. There's the view out of the tent today. Pretty peaceful night. Sun's just popping up over there. And didn't get any rain or anything last night. Possibility, but nothing came. All right, let's get some coffee on.
To try out a new filter a buddy of mine gave me to try. This is so you can do a pour over coffee in the morning, and this is from The Miracle Brew. Kind enough to send these to me to check them out, so let's give this thing a shot. There you go. Well, that's coming up to boil. I'll show you what these things are. And it's essentially this little filter, and it's got these little tabs on the outside, like that, to fit over your cup. I like a pretty strong fork. Yeah, it filters through pretty quickly. A little more patience involved with this.
Just kind of slow drip through there. But you can see that it's really filtering nicely. That coffee is, it's not light at all. So I'm looking forward to this.
Right. Good morning. Well, this is absolutely, it's like tar, just the way that I like it. But really nice product, and just takes a little bit longer, but I think it's worth it. Absolutely. Thank you guys very much for sending that to me to check it out. These things are great, and I'll be using them in the future. And I'm already thinking about a second cup. Thanks, Miracle Brew. All right, camp's pretty well broken up. See where the tent was. That's the way we want to leave it. And then over here's where the fire ring was. Right there. And then, you know, you douse that several times in the morning. And then I just basically return the rocks back down to the stream, put some wet dirt over top. And idea being, I don't want anyone to know I was here. And that's the whole deal with Leave No Trace. So, beautiful morning, and just a nice trip. Call these my midweek quick sneaks. That's a Tuesday night in the woods. Woo. Already in the mid 80s, and it's only about 9:45. But I wanted to thank you for joining me again. It's been a great trip. What a beautiful stealth site we found, and just a great way to spend the night. And you definitely feel better the next day, I tell you. It's just something about spending time out here in the woods. Be good to each other. Be good to nature, and we'll see you back out on the trail. Take care.